people feel a lot of times, especially as owners, right? Small developers, investors, even homeowners, sometimes they feel like they have to know everything about construction, right? In order to do a project, and they'll do a ton of research online. They might buy a course, they might watch a handful of YouTube videos, or even watch us here on this live stream, which is also on YouTube, also on Facebook, and wherever else this is connected to, thanks to my amazing social media team. So I always tell owners, and I always backtrack, we are here, okay, as project manager, owner representatives, to help you with the things that you don't know. Very similar.
I call it service. We're in the service industry, just like
We are.
everybody else.
Just like everybody else, right? You hire an attorney for the things that you don't know when you're reading a contract, right? You end up hiring accountant to help you with your bookkeeping when you don't know what to categorize things as, or it's time for tax season, right? So it's really, really important for people to understand that while the internet is great, you cannot learn how to do an addition overnight. You cannot expect, if you don't know what you don't know, that you're going to pick up on things in architect or engineering plans that are incomplete. You may have paid for a complete set of plans, but are the plans really complete?
But I have that all the time. That's the thing.
All the time.
We've spoke so much about this, because that's the I always say, and this, to come into the project, to bring a project manager in as early as possible. So
as early as possible.
Plans, because how many times do people come with the plans to you and they're like, well, they don't make sense, and you try and build and it's like, it don't make sense. So the earlier you get involved, or the earlier you know, definitely.
Absolutely. And I typically tell people that, you think that you have to have a full set of plans, or you need to hire a general contractor once you have that set of plans, or full set, because there's never really a full set at the beginning. So I say it in air quotations, and I hope that the architects, engineers, and other licensed professionals that are watching this, designers really truly understand. We joke around about it on other platforms, and truly, there's never a full set. There's always going to be questions. And so as owners, you don't want to wait until you're thousands of dollars in to start asking questions that could have been asked prior, only to get billed for additional time from the architect or the engineer, when we could have had those conversations from the get-go. So we're not saying bring us in because we want your money. We truly want to save you money. We do want your money, but we take your money to save you money.
Well, in a positive. And that's where, so one of the things I've realized, and because of this, I've started to reach out to architects. And when architects start with the project and they do the draft design, I say to them, look, you know what, because it's building a relationship. I'm like, let's go meet the owners. Let's go and speak through the design. Let's look at the difficulties, explain what's going on. Because the amount of times an owner comes to me and I review the drawings with them, and they say, this is not what we want. We didn't ask the architect to do this. And I was like, it's only because they don't know all the different, and they don't know all the options. They don't know, and again, not all the engineers and architects know the options. And I've had the scenario where, and I tell people, the structural engineer doesn't come to site. Why? Because they don't want to pay another $600 to do that. And I'm like, do you know that's going to cost you a fortune later? I says, why wouldn't you have a structural engineer come to site, do a quick review, and make sure that the design that they're designing works? Because the amount of times that you have the design, it looks like you've got the same cough as me. Looks like the design, looks like you've got a full design, and you start and you're like, it just doesn't work. And
right.
It's so much cheaper to do something in the design phase than it is later on in the middle of the works. Way, way cheaper and less of a headache.